Are you a hypochondriac? Are you on the internet looking up symptoms and freaking yourself out completely? Well, this video is for you, my friend. Well, first of all, the definition of a hypochondriac is somebody who is afraid that they either have or they're about to be diagnosed with a terminal or life-threatening disease, ailment, anything. They're afraid that they're about to be diagnosed or they already have something and they're going to die, right? You're afraid you're sick all the time or any little tiny thing. So just to be straightforward, I can talk about this because I'm a hypochondriac and this has ruined years of my life. But I've come to a place that I always dream. I've come to a beautiful place, and that's why I'm making this video for you, because I care. So the internet, if you go and look at certain websites on the internet, looking up like symptoms for anything, I mean, you're instantly, and I know that you know this, you're gonna instantly gravitate towards the worst case scenario, and then you're really actually gonna start getting terrified to the point where it's ruining your life and you can't function, you can't do anything because now you think you're actually going to die. I don't think it's funny though. By the way, I'm not a doctor. I'm not licensed to prescribe any advice whatsoever at all. This is purely my opinion, and this video is just some random guy with a random opinion. Okay, if you think you have anything going on or you're sick, you should definitely go see a licensed healthcare physician. Don't take my word for it. Cool? Cool? Okay, I'll continue. Now, my whole life, I've had some psychosomatic illness where I was always afraid that if I didn't have something, then I was going to end up developing something and I was going to die. To the point where it drove me to the internet to look up Here's where I could just fast forward this a little bit. Here's where I actually started to get better, because you'll be fine for a few months, then something will trigger you and you'll just crash. You'll go downhill, and it could last a week, multiple weeks, it could last months, where you actually fall into a deep depression. You're experiencing all these symptoms, maybe you're going to the doctor, and you are absolutely terrified. You can't function in your career, your relationships suffer, you're up all night looking up on things on the internet, you start losing sleep, you got bags under your eyes, you can't eat now because you're so damn stressed out over this. Fear. The fear that your life is at stake drives you down to your core survival instincts, where everything is fight or flight, everything is live or die, and now you can't think higher thoughts, you can't do artistic, beautiful things, you can't have any peace. Like when you ever had that moment where those moments where you're just driving in your car, it's a beautiful sunshiny day, but you're looking at your life through a prism as though these are the last days of your life, and then what can happen is, I've gone through this shit. I convinced myself so badly that and every couple months it was a different thing. This is how I started to catch on that I had a problem in my head, because you can't accept the fact. No, I'm not giving you advice here, but you just can't accept the fact that you're going to be okay. You can't accept the fact that you're not sick. You can't accept the fact that you're going to have a beautiful life and you didn't do anything wrong or right to deserve this. You were gifted and granted this beautiful life, and everything's going to be okay. You're going to be like the other people who, and why you? You've had somebody who's died of a disease. They got sick, they died young. Somebody that you know, somebody that you love, and you look at them and you feel guilty and you go, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you might look at them and feel guilty and go, why me? Why did that horrible thing happen to that person? And I get to get away scot-free and have nothing wrong with me. Why? This isn't fair. I need to get sick and I need to suffer and I need to die, to whatever the thoughts may be, right? So what can happen, this is what happened to me, I'm only speaking for myself. I actually got so sick in the head, somebody I care about died couple summers ago, unexpectedly. I got so depressed that I actually thought that I was developing a disease in my body, and I got so sick in the head I couldn't function in my business. I was barely going through the motion, and this lasted for like 3 or 4 months straight. I actually thought I was going to die for sure. And then I knew for a fact that I was going to die. And this is like probably like the 5th time in my life, but this was the worst. I knew for a fact that I was going to die, and I started actually psychologically and emotionally going through the death process. Now, you're going to think I'm crazy unless you've gone through this and you've gotten this deep into your hypochondria. I actually started going through like the 7 stages of grief or whatever, is where like you're in total denial, and then you are in rage, and then you have this like moment of clarity, and I don't know it, but like then you go into acceptance, and then it becomes self-evident. Like, I got to acceptance. I knew that I was going to die. And I started treating my family differently. I was being really, really nice. I was calling up people I hadn't called in forever. And I started, writing things down and preparing for my own death. I know this sounds crazy. I actually started going through the acceptance of the death process, and I fully accepted that I was going to die. And at the very bottom of it, here's what happened. Now, this is what I got to warn you. I actually started dying. I know I'm smiling right now. It's just like a mechanism in my head. Here's the spooky part. I actually started dying. My hair went completely gray, and I literally my body started breaking down, and psychologically I started, my spirit started to actually want to come out of my body, and that's when it scared the living shit out of me. I said, oh my God, I'm actually walking into my own death right now. And it's like, I went like this, I was like, no way, dude, like you've got a life to live, you've got a million things you want to achieve and pursue, and so this is what I had to do for me. I'm not going to say this is going to work for you. I had to go look at myself in the mirror, and I have like a buddy who's a life coach and a hypnotherapist. He put me under hypnosis for this, and it helped a lot. I got this guy, I'm not trying to sell to you right now, this guy named David McGraw. He's a hypnotherapist I love, and I'll put a link in the description below. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I listen to this dude, and he has hypnotherapy sessions for like health, and you go through the whole body. But there's this other one that I found at the perfect time. The lady's name is Jennifer McLean, McClean, with a capital C in there, Jennifer McLean, and she has like this podcast. It's like, it's more so for like women, I think, like her audience, but it's about unconditional love and healing. And she had this thing, I paid like $30 for it to be part of this group call that summer. And I went and laid in my basement and closed the door. I had this plan for like a week, and she took you through this like 2-hour meditation where you breathe in and breathe out, and you go under hypnosis, and you thank your brain. You spend like 5 minutes just loving and thanking your brain and blessing it and letting go. And then you go to your eyeballs, then you go to your nose, your mouth, your tongue, all the chakras. You go into your lymph node. You thank, and you bathe your entire, follow me here, you bathe your entire lymph node system in unconditional love, and you thank it since your birth. Thank you so much for cleansing and filtering my body and my blood and all these things and the lymph fluid, and I thank you, and I honor you, and I praise you. And then you go to your heart. You do it to your heart, and then each individual lungs and the kidney and the spleen. And it's crazy. I went through this for like 2 hours of laying, just sending all my unconditional love, to like my pancreas. I love you, my pancreas. I just bathe you in unconditional love. I want to thank you and honor you, and thank you so much for this beautiful gift that I don't have to do any work, and you just do all this work for me, and what a beautiful blessing, right? So I got into this place of like unconditional love, and I felt amazing after, because I convinced myself I had problems with my kidneys. I convinced myself I had a problem with my spleen. I convinced myself I had a problem with my gallbladder. I thought that I had problems with my colon. I thought that I had problems with my lymph nodes. I thought, dude, in every few months, it was a different disease, bro. Like, I thought I had at one point, and I'm not going to say anything specific, but it's a disease where like all your muscles atrophy away, because there was a point years ago, like I was dropping stuff and I was just like, my arms were weak. I thought I was like gonna end up like in a wheelchair and wither away, and my wife wouldn't be able to, feed the family. So anyways, I know I'm going really deep into this, and I hope this is helping you. You know that feeling where you can't catch a complete breath, where you go, couldn't catch it. It's an anxiety that won't go away. It's like this lower 20%, this fight or flight response. It's the sympathetic nervous system that's keeping you fighting for your life, and it won't let you take a complete breath so you can like relax. You always feel like you're gonna die, right? So this is what I did at rock bottom. I went and I looked in the mirror in my own eyes, and I had a pep talk with myself. I said, listen, I love you. This is the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's a Hawaiian prayer. You can look it up. Ho'oponopono. I love you. Forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. If you can get yourself to a place where you say, you know what? I choose. I choose to live. I choose to be healthy. I choose to conquer. I choose to live until I'm 100. I have a beautiful life ahead and many, many people to spread love and health and wealth and abundance, and to spread a positive message of hope, right? Many, many journeys await me, right? So go look in the mirror and have a talk with yourself. Now, like, if you really think something's wrong, go to the doctor, right? For sure, because if you're terrified to go to the doctor because you're afraid of the worst case scenario, well, at some point, maybe you should just go. I think you should go like right away, right? But I had to consciously reach down inside of myself with courage and grab a hold of that fear. You could call it a psychosomatic illness. You could call it a pathology, like you could call it neurosis, or it could go into full-blown psychosis. Because if you don't find a stable place inside of yourself that you can hold on to, or find out what's going wrong, or get some therapy, or get some help, you will go crazy. You can go into full-blown psychosis to where you can't get out of bed because you're so afraid. And then, I'm not prescribing you anything, but I will speak for myself. I could have caused my own death. If you want some resources, look up Dr. Joe Dispenza. Has a book called You Are the Placebo. A guy who, like, people completely healing themselves. If you want nutrition stuff, because I got really deep into nutrition, like the Gerson therapy by Dr. Gerson, Dr. Young, the pH miracle. So supposedly, allegedly, through eating all, organic grown, fresh vegetables, herbs, nuts, seeds, fruits, berries, and organic green vegetables, lots of greens, this is fake, and eating that and juicing them in a blender and getting away from all sugars, all crap food, all carcinogenic foods, doing any drugs or smoking or anything like that, no sugars, no starches, no breads. If you get obsessed and develop a budget and start going to the grocery store and getting, I'm excited right now. I'm going to the grocery store right after this video. I'm going to get some, I'll put a link in the description below to my video to where I juice green vegetables. You get organic spinach and kale and celery and parsley and avocados and bananas and cilantro, some apples so it's not so tart, some carrots. Put all that in a big ninja blender or a juicer, juice all that up in there. You get little tinctures like mushroom tincture with some little with minerals, and multivitamin mineral supplement with like colloidal silver. You can get all crazy with it and fall in love with yourself, into taking care of yourself. You can get a filter so there's not chlorine in the water, and don't drink tap water. Drink like ultra filtered water. Go to the health food store like Better Health Foods or Whole Foods and get like the pH 10 Essence or Fiji or super alkaline water, because the alkaline balance with drops of Bob's Red Mill baking soda and lemon juice, super high alkalinity, test your alkalinity, and then draw like hot baths with salt, like sea salt and Epsom salt, because they're highly alkaline and filled with minerals. And then just, you could do a full body detox cleanse, like you can cleanse out like your liver and your colon and your spleen. You can give your body a whole fast. You can get deep into prayer or meditation or some yoga. And if you feel that have gone to a point where you're so stressed out about your health, and maybe you really have something going on, I really like this Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Young, because they say most diseases stem from acidosis, like unhealthy diet. If you're really, really stressed out, your body's creating acid, and you're getting all these symptoms and ailments because of your diet. And it's so hard to believe that, right? Like that, there's no way I gotta have like, but it is interesting. Like if you bathe your mind and your heart and your body and emotions, you connected all your chakras into complete unconditional love, right? Well, what's going to happen is if you do a cleanse like that, you're going to get really sick first, and you might really think you're going to die, but it's really your body is like getting rid of all the toxins and the acidity. They talk about coffee enemas, right? If you detox too fast, I'm not going to try to coffee enema myself, but you could do colonics. But anyways, the last thing I'm going to say is, what if you asked yourself the question, if I don't know for sure that I have something wrong with me, what percentage, put it on a gradient, what percentage of this is psychosomatic, and I'm actually driving myself crazy to the point where I'm stressed out of my mind? Because if you think that you're going to die, or you are going to actually start acting it out, right? You could go to the doctor and it could just be like a little thing. It could be something that's very common, right? Now, not to say that tons of people, and especially in the world we live in, the toxic world we live in, really, really do have, and I'm not going to say any like something wrong. So it's very important that you do go get checked out, right? I'm just trying to cover my bases on this video, but all I want to say is this: if you have a good feeling that you're a hypochondriac and you're suffering from it, if you take full responsibility for that, you can have a beautiful life again and you don't have to suffer. So I finally got to a point in my life where I can take, when that fear rises up, I can hold that fear and hold that effort down in its place and keep it objectified and say, I know you want to take me over, you demon, you fear demon, it's probably, I don't know, a demon, an entity, an energy, a pathology, whatever. I know you want to take over me and put me into fight or flight mode, but I'm not going to let you do that. Because if you come into present moment right now, I come into present moment, I go, well, actually, I feel okay. Everything looks good. I started doing this thing. I was looking at my tongue in the mirror like 20 times a day. Oh my God, do I have candida on my tongue? Oh my God, like freaking out, going up to my friends and my family, say, show me your tongue. They're like, what are you talking about? Just show me your tongue. Freaked out, right? If you had a dose of antibiotics, it can disrupt your immune system for 2 years because it just wipes out all the good and bacteria. So you can get on probiotics, fermented vegetables, kefir, kimchi, look all that stuff up, and rebalance the biome in your body. Like even if you drink chlorinated water, that kills all the good bacteria, the healthy balance. So one dose of antibiotics or something can mess you up for like a year or 2 years, right? Okay, I'm going too far. This is like a 20-minute video. I just want to say for myself, I've got myself to a point where I have finally gotten it under control, where I can keep it objectified, and I know what percentage of it is the hypochondriac talking. And I'll stop looking up stuff on the internet. Oh my God, look, my wrist is itching. I got it, dog. I got that shit. I love you, my friend. I love you. And I hope this video reaches the right person. And I wish you all the love in the world, my friend.